Hello, everybody. Welcome to my Ask Me Anything. Out of the hundreds of fictional questions I got in my head, I'm only going to answer the 7 that I got in real life. So, first up, from Christopher. What was Chopin's most important contribution to music? It's a good question. There's a lot. You could take this one in a lot of different angles, but I think I would start by saying it's at that time that composition for the piano becomes what we know it is today. Without Chopin, I'm not sure that we would have gotten as far as we had so quickly. Remember that even Beethoven didn't have the modern piano as we know it now. Chopin didn't either, to be honest. He had something approximating it. In my lifetime, I've got to play 3 pianos that Chopin had owned, and it's just insane how small and fragile they are. It's amazing how he could have written such powerful music on such weak instruments. But the obvious other answer for me is he's the first kind of early 19th century composer to fuse the old traditions of counterpoint back into the Parlamento traditions of harmony and create this new fusion, right? You kind of see it, the older he gets, the more complex it becomes. And if we had seen a couple more years of Chopin, I just wonder, well, you might have seen what you've got elsewhere from the composers who wouldn't have been without him, right? I think of the 3 most obvious as Fauré, Debussy, and Brahms, all 3 of whom really worship Chopin's music. Cool. From Christina, what is your favorite champagne? Well, so glad you asked. You normally go with Dom or you go with Veuve Clicquot, but my favorite has always been Bière Quatre Saumons. It's my dear friend Brian Amell that introduced me to it, and I've been hooked ever since. So hard to find in the States sometimes, especially in a dumb state like Pennsylvania. But if you can find it, pick up a bottle of that stuff. All right, next up from Deb, and this is an important one. Can someone who is not educated in music theory but still loves music still participate in your salons? Asking for a friend. The answer is absolutely. I try to always tailor my salons to be both enjoyable by hardcore music theory nerds like me and by people who just love music itself and are just want to learn more about Chopin and his life and his works. I've always felt that I've tried to find like a good middle ground between like heavy duty, into the notes analysis and kind of my faux musicology degree that I have in my closet. So anyone's welcome. Really anyone. Next up, this from Manny. Would love to know your thoughts on the impact Leonard Bernstein has had on your music, if at all. After watching Maestro, I've been reading so much about his work and his legacy. I'd say not as much as you might think. My first major teacher was Robert Helps, who did work a lot with Bernstein. And he told me some really good stories, which I'll tell you off air sometimes. But personally, I'd say not so much. My music is very different than his. I guess I respect him, I eminently respect him as a conductor. As a composer, I recognize the greatness of what he's doing, but it's not that related to my music. And so it didn't make that much of an influence. Although there are so few American composers to choose from, you have to know them. But for me, when I studied American music, I was really more interested in Samuel Barber. Okay, from Yang Fan, is Chopin a cat person or a dog person? He's got to be a dog person, right? I think, he's very loyal to his friends. I can't remember reading anything in history about him having either one. I think his paramour, Georges Sand, was definitely a cat person. So that probably added to their, opposites attract vibe, which, man, what a story. It's a wonder that there's not like a good movie about it. There's several like terrible ones, but it's great material. From Love to Flute 35, which is freaking awesome as the title. She says, what is your favorite piano piece? This one's kind of a no-brainer for me. I know a lot of people would give you like 10 choices here, but for me, Chopin's finest work, his most complex, his most elegant and beautiful is the Fourth Ballade. And for me, that's my favorite piano piece. I think it does everything a great work should do in only about 8 minutes. To me, that's perfection. Finally, Jennifer asks, what is your best microwave egg recipe? Well, hi, Jennifer. I would say if I had to go microwave, okay, you got to do what you got to do. That wouldn't be my first choice, but if I had to do it, it can be done, okay? Whisk up your eggs with a healthy amount of salted butter, microwave 30 seconds, stir, 30 seconds again, stir, add copious amounts of cheese and heavy cream if you have it, or creme fraiche. Whip, 30 seconds, down the hatch. So, hope you guys enjoyed, and hope to see you in Chopin class starting this Monday. Take care, everybody.